Nicolas Cage movies. Watch Nicolas Cage's movies and TV shows for free. Nicolas Cage is a versatile actor known for his wide range of roles, from intense drama to over-the-top action and comedy. However, not all of his movies have been critically or commercially successful. Some of his films have been panned for poor writing, unconvincing performances, or simply not living up to expectations. Here are some of the worst Nicolas Cage movies, based on critical reception, box office performance, and fan response. 1. The Wicker Man, 2006, genre, horror, thriller, director, Neil LaBute. Why it's bad. The Wicker Man is infamous for its bizarre plot, awkward pacing, and Nicolas Cage's wildly over-the-top performance. In the film, Cage plays a cop who investigates a mysterious island where women have disappeared, only to encounter a cult. The movie is often considered unintentionally hilarious, especially due to Cage's dramatic and sometimes absurd acting choices, including the infamous "not the bees" scene. It's a cult favorite for all the wrong reasons, but generally considered a disaster. 2. Left Behind, 2014, genre, action, drama, thriller, director, Vic Armstrong. Why it's bad. Based on the Christian apocalyptic novel series, Left Behind has been widely criticized for its lackluster script, poor special effects, and stiff performances. Cage plays a pilot trying to survive after the rapture. The film is often derided for its preachy tone, lack of depth, and poor execution. It's not only one of the worst reviewed films of Cage's career, but also a major commercial failure. 3. Season of the Witch, 2011, genre, fantasy, adventure, horror, director, Dominic Sena. Why it's bad. This medieval fantasy adventure stars Cage as a 14th century knight who must escort a suspected witch to a distant monastery. While the premise could have been intriguing, the film falters with a muddled script, uneven pacing, and a lackluster story. Despite its potential for atmospheric tension, Season of the Witch was poorly received by critics and audiences alike. 4. Ghost Rider, 2007, genre, superhero, action, fantasy, director, Mark Steven Johnson. Why it's bad. While Cage's portrayal of Johnny Blaze, a man who transforms into the supernatural motorcycle-riding Ghost Rider, had potential, Ghost Rider failed to deliver. The film's CGI-heavy action sequences were criticized for being overdone, and the story felt formulaic. Cage's performance, though energetic, was seen as overacted, and the film's plot struggled to captivate audiences. It's often regarded as a disappointing entry in the superhero genre. 5. The Humanity Bureau, 2017, genre, sci-fi, thriller, director, Rob W. King. Why it's bad. In The Humanity Bureau, Cage stars in a dystopian future where people are exiled to a place known as New Eden if they don't fit into society's ideal standards. The film was criticized for its low-budget production, lack of compelling characters, and muddled narrative. Critics found it slow, boring, and lacking in meaningful social commentary, with Cage delivering a performance that didn't help elevate the material. 6. Bangkok Dangerous, 2008, genre, action, crime, thriller, directors, Oxide Chun Pang, Danny Pang. Why it's bad. In this remake of a 1999 Thai film, Cage plays a hitman who becomes emotionally involved in the life of a young Thai man while completing an assignment in Bangkok. The film was criticized for its uninspired direction, lackluster performances, including Cage's, and a lack of tension in what should have been a suspenseful action movie. Bangkok Dangerous failed to resonate with critics or audiences and is often considered one of Cage's forgettable performances. 7. Knowing, 2009, genre, sci-fi, thriller, director, Alex Proyas. Why it's bad. While Knowing has an interesting premise, a series of numbers predicting disasters, the film is often criticized for its implausible plot twists, muddled narrative, and inconsistent tone. Cage's performance is passable, but the film's shift into sci-fi territory with its supernatural elements left many viewers scratching their heads. The film received mixed reviews, and despite some of its ambitious concepts, it failed to land as a truly compelling story. 8. Drive Angry, 2011, genre, action, crime, thriller, director, Patrick Lucy. Why it's bad. Although the film tries to be a campy action flick, Drive Angry ended up being more confusing than fun. Cage stars as a man who escapes from hell to rescue his granddaughter. While the film leans heavily into over-the-top action and dark humor, it's often criticized for its incoherent plot, unconvincing effects, and lackluster characters. Cage's commitment to playing a badass, vengeful character is commendable, but the film's poor execution left it a critical and commercial failure. 9. Rage, 2014, genre, action, crime, thriller, director, Paco Cabezas. Why it's bad. In Rage, Cage plays a man who seeks revenge after his daughter is kidnapped. The film's convoluted plot, poor pacing, and lack of emotional investment make it a forgettable action movie. Cage's typically intense performance felt out of place in a film that never quite took off. The film had minimal impact on audiences and critics, and it's often listed as one of his less impressive action films. 10. Army of One, 2016, genre, comedy, adventure, drama, director, Larry Charles. Why it's bad. In Army of One, Cage plays Gary Faulkner, an eccentric man who sets out on a mission to capture Osama bin Laden. While the premise sounds comedic, the film ultimately falls flat due to its uneven tone, lack of genuine humor, and Cage's odd performance choices. The movie didn't manage to find the right balance between comedy and absurdity, leaving many critics unimpressed. Despite these less than stellar films, Nicolas Cage has had a long and diverse career, with several iconic performances that have gained him a dedicated fan base. These worst films don't define his career but are rather examples of how even talented actors can sometimes fall into misfires or questionable projects. Nonetheless, Cage's ability to bounce back with unique and often unpredictable roles keeps his career interesting.